Hey, welcome back everyone to the Ahsan Raza podcast. Today I've got a special guest and a close friend of mine who I've worked with for quite a few properties when it comes to home renovations. I've got Kumail Ali from Alibaba Constructions. Thank you for coming on the show.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. Thank you for having us. We're finally back in studio today. And we're going to talk about construction, all things renovations, and anything else that Kumail has some advice for you as homeowners looking to do some contract work. Before we dive into the actual questions and interview my friend Kumail, we wanted to let you guys know about a special promotion coming up in honor of the Eid days. And Kumail, I'll let you take over from here and talk to the audience about this really exciting promotion you're offering to our guys.
Thank you, Brother Ahsan. Appreciate it. It's a very exciting episode, and I wanted to share something even more exciting as well. We are offering an Eid gift on this podcast as $5,000 for a lucky draw winner after 3 months. Depending on how many entries we have, the minimum requirement is $5,000 spent on any renovation project from June 16th to 3 months. And if you spend $5,000 and 5 entries or 5 participants are there within the 3 months, you will have a lucky draw and you will get to win $5,000 cash back after 3 months when we do the lucky draw live again. So it's very exciting news. Terms and conditions apply. The minimum requirement is $5,000 to be spent and 5 participants to be there in the next minute. Eid gift from both of us. So happy to collaborate with Ahsan on this and wanted to share this great news before we begin.
If you can give us a quick intro about who you are, your company, and how you got started.
Yeah, my name is Kumail Ali. I've been with Alibaba Construction, managing the business for past 8 years now. We started on Canada Day. It's been exciting, even though it's a holiday. We started on a good day to begin with.
There's no holidays for us, buddy.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Same in construction field as well, and in real estate, you can relate to that as well. So we started on 1st of July 2018 on Canada Day. I started with my own basement. Firstly, I had a great team. Anything revolves around the team. So I had Ijaz Bhai and Naeem Bhai with me, working with me from day one. They were from Dubai and moved to US and Canada specifically again. They are civil engineers, so had great time working with them and still working with them as well. Had a great team. Started off the first project with my own basement and then started with other clients as well. So you need to have a good solid team to build your business. So that's how I started. It's a great journey. And it's absolutely fabulous going through these phases of growth because I've expanded now even to the US market. Also operating in New York, New Jersey, and Long Island.
Nice. That's a pretty impressive resume. I know you're going international now, which is really cool. Let's dive into the actual questions that I had for you and just some advice you can provide to our audience. When it comes to home renovations, I've seen people, buyers, sellers, make a ton of mistakes or have an idea, and that's where you kind of come in and, not correct them, but advise them, right? But in your experience, what are some of the common mistakes that people make, when it comes to renovations?
That's a great question. I think most important is about planning and having a budget set, right? People think you can just build your house or anything in the house like IKEA furniture. It's not that easy. It takes time. So also planning is very important because when I say planning, doing your own research about the contractor. Just to give you one good example, the friend who you referred took 6 months to come to me, and then he decided to go with me, right? The reason I'm not telling everybody should take 6 months to do a project or decide on a project, but it's important to know the contractor in and out because it's important to have a good team to deliver the results. So that being said, the most important thing is planning. So it is so important that if you don't plan your budget, what you want to do first and what you want to do last, sometimes you can do it in stages, right? Certain times people understand, just to give you a small example, they want to do the kitchen, but they want to do the tiles later. But kitchen and tiles go hand in hand. So you have to do the tiling first and then redo the kitchen. So small things like that make a lot of difference because renovation, making someone's house is something very special, and it's a home, right? So it's very important to keep that in mind.
Got it. So when it comes to, let's say, selling a house now, like you and I have always had conversations about, you come in, you do an evaluation of the person's house in terms of like what they could do to help increase the value of their home, right? Whereas I do a paper evaluation of what the neighbor sold for, kind of idea. But home values fluctuate based on the condition of the property. That's a big deal in real estate. The higher the condition, the better the condition, the more money you're going to get. But at the same time, what I also notice is that a lot of people will renovate their home, but they'll renovate parts of their home that won't actually bring the most value. Whereas our goal is to go in there, and renovate certain parts of the home that will actually maximize their value, right? Yeah. So talk about that and tell our audience, what do you recommend you should recommend, or what do you recommend that you should renovate when you're selling a home in particular, not just for your own enjoyment, when you're selling a home, and what are those things and what will they do in terms of the value of the home?
Great question, Ahsan. Thanks for that. I can give you my own example. I was selling my house in 2022, right? I listed the house without doing renovation. Again, like a typical customer, you want to sell it on the higher price without doing, even though being in contract, right? I just wanted to test the waters first to be answering your question. So I listed the property. I got one offer, right, without any renovation, which was okay at that time. Then I did, to your point, what parts of the renovation is important. Like I did a little bit of the kitchen, did some tilings, did some cosmetics on the bathrooms, and just spent about 15 to 20,000 on the house, and that got me about 65,000 more in the next listing. So I took out the listing, and after renovation, I put the listing back, and it got me 65,000 more. So that answers, and this is my own personal experience. And I have seen, even with your Richmond Hill client, when we did some renovation work, it went for another 70, 80,000 more. So knowing what to do is very important. That's why we come in and advise. We have a designer team of Ashfaq and Mera who help us with the design team. So I have a complete in and out A to Z package where you can come for a design consult. It's complimentary as long as you do with the work with us. Or if you're taking a full design consultation, there's a small fees of X amount of money to involve. So it totally depends on what scale you want to do it. So it's important because design is, you draw anything on paper is free, right? But when you start doing it and execute it wrongly, then it gets messy. So you lose money. So that's why you need a design services as well. So I emphasize a lot on that. We did a lot of commercial project with 3D rendering and design as well. So doing kitchen, tiles, bathrooms, to answer your question, is very important. Even if you don't want to do the full kitchen, at least a facelift of the kitchen. Maybe do a paint on the doors of the kitchen. But if you want to change the kitchen and countertop, do that. Bathrooms, kitchen, bathroom, these are the main points. Especially female buyers, female homeowners prefer this, and it's a big ticket item to try to do it properly, do it right. So when you do these things, it helps.
And then would you also say flooring, let's say new flooring in the living room is also one thing. Painting, I think, gives you a big ROI, or along with the kitchen and the bathrooms. So those are kind of my top 3, top 4 things that Kumail and I always discuss. Painting itself, I mean, if you heard me talk about that, the biggest ROI is painting. I mean, you have a freshly painted house, and right away, I think the number is like your ROI. This is real numbers, like almost 120% return on investment. You put in 5,000, you're getting double that, more than double that, at least. And it's not just about selling the house at a higher value. I think one thing that people get mistaken is that, yes, renovations can increase the value of your home, but in this market, sometimes it doesn't always translate into a higher price all the time, but it at least sets you apart from the competition, and you can sell your house faster than the others, right? Those are 2 things. So higher value and also selling the house in a faster amount of time. In this market, you don't want to get drowned in 60, 90 days and have listings come up and your competition goes up. But enough about that. Going back to you and your questions, we talked earlier about budgeting for a client. As you know, renovations budgets can go up. You find stuff that comes in and out. But how do you take care of the client and keep them in check so that they're within their budget? And if, let's say, issues do come up, how do you handle that?
You can do projects in stages. When I say stages regarding the budgeting, for example, if you're doing the full house, just as an example, but they don't have the budget to spend about $100,000, for example. So you can plan it in such a way that you can maybe do the basement first, or maybe do the ground level or the main floor first, and then the second floor or the first floor with the bathroom. So you can plan it in stages so that it doesn't affect your pocket. Maybe 6 months down the line, you do the second part of it. So planning a budget is always important to deliver results, because people need to understand that if you don't have the budget, you can do it in stages.
Right.
But keep that in mind, that when you do, for example, tiles in kitchen, always go hand in hand. So certain things go hand in hand, certain things can wait, and you can do it in stages. So that's very important. So whenever clients come to us and ask us for advice on this, I'm from an HR background and business background, so I always have that transparency with them to tell them that you can do this in this stages, rather than just tell them, no, let's do it in whole, and make them also financially unstable to go in all out and not deliver the results which they want. So understand their needs and deliver to their needs.
Yeah. And then what about timeline? Like, can timelines get affected? Like, if you say 2 months to complete a home renovation, is there some buffer that you give to the client? And say, like, it could be 2.5, could be 1.5 months. We don't know. Like, how do you manage the timeline?
It's usually 15 days here and there, depending on material. Touch wood, 99.9% of my projects have been delivered on time. 1% sometimes, if there's a material delay. So for example, I was doing a garage door, and the material was coming from Europe, for example. So we did not have that.
Yeah, it's on your control.
Once that came in after 2 months, we did that. But the rest of the project was complete. So other than material delays, touch wood, I think we have delivered on time. Definitely 100% of the time. But sometimes we keep a buffer of 15 days just on a bigger projects. If it is a smaller project, for a week project, maybe 1 or 2 days. People understand that, and we mention that in the contracts and let them know as well. Main thing, to make the customer happy, you have to communicate. So once you're transparent about this, that's my big ticket, because people come back to me because of the transparency and integrity which we have in our business, and that's why people come back.
It's all about communication. I think that's the key thing with any business, especially real estate and renovations. I mean, we've seen some horror stories about, contractors and even realtors. There's always bad apples in every industry. But when it comes to contractors and home renovators, like, how do you spot a good, trustworthy contractor like yourself? And what are some of the red flags that somebody should be looking for, if they do spot something that they find is kind of, off?
It's important to know 95% of my business is through reference, right? Even though I have a website, my company name is alibabaconstructions.com. And I have leads from people like you who work in real estate, and from others. It's always about building that name, the brand, right? My father was also in the business, and he's retired now, but I learned the ethical values from business from him. My brothers, they are also into banking, and one is in medicine, but I think the family values you bring into the business, it's very important, because it's all about trust. If you trust that person, you will make it happen for you. So I'll give you a small example. My first customer was Satken Bhai, great guy. He gave me the contract, even though he showed me the contract of another contractor for $2,000 more. But since he gave me that was my first project, right? So I could not do anything with the price, but he still gave me the project. I delivered the project. He was extremely happy. Just because he trusted me on that, we also kind of manage his expectations above and beyond, right? You should have always 3 or 4 things a person should always have. A good contractor, a good doctor, a good lawyer, and a good mechanic, right? So it's important to have these things. If you don't, then it's not like you're not utilizing your resources properly. So I think that's what I did, and people are happy to know that if you're honest in your communication, they like you and they go with you. So that's what brings people back to me.
Yeah. So as you know, like styles and trends change, you know, literally from like year over year, maybe even shorter. Like when I first started real estate back in 2011, those hardwood floors were thinner hardwood floor were like very popular.
Yeah.
And then the smaller square tiles were popular. Granite was like popular. And then, but now it's like you go back in the last 10, 15 years, now it's like quartz countertops, or it's like those big, huge marble tiles and whatnot. And hardwood sometimes isn't even like in fashion a lot of the time. It's like more like those wider laminate or vinyl. But like, you know, what are some of the trends now in 2025 that you're seeing that are going to be here to stay for a while?
I think very subtle colors are very important, because nobody likes really bright and onto your face loud colors.
Yeah.
That's important. As you rightly said, those proper hardwood, it kind of peels off over time.
Yeah.
So getting engineered wood would be recommendable, and vinyl for the basements because it's already waterproof than laminate. And those come with bigger planks, right? So those are cost effective and better long lasting as well. And having a proper humidifier in your house is important to keep that hardwood from peeling off.
Oh, okay.
So
I didn't
small
know that.
things like these make a lot of difference, because
Okay.
wood starts peeling. You don't have a humidifier, because if the hardwood is not expanding, right, it doesn't have so much gap, so it starts peeling off. So when you have the humidifier, it keeps it a little bit moist and keep it cool, kind of thing. So you have to go with the trends, and most important trends right now is, like, you can say it goes with functional houses, right? You want to convert a office space into a guest room. So those are becoming very popular. Epoxy countertops, those are, I can show some views in this video as well. Epoxy countertops are really becoming very popular because people like a little bit of flash and flare in their kitchen space. So those are becoming really popular. And anything functional you do in your house, those are really house extensions are becoming really popular. Everybody is now trying to not buy a new house right away. They want to build it and then maybe have a second home. So they are trying to expand what they have and then renovate in different areas and different markets if they are investing in different properties as well. So so that's what I would say the trends are right now. Subtle colors, functionality, that's very practical. As what's happening and trending right now.
So no like yellow walls or red walls or
No, not really. I've seen those, but usually to redo them. And those are the hardest one, because you have to do a lot of primer on that, then get the color off. It takes about 4 or 5 coats to get those.
We've seen those. We've seen how hard that is. I mean, at the end of the day, like if you like something, then you do whatever you like, right? It's like Kumail's not going to be like, I'm not going to paint your color red because it's not in fashion. It's still going to paint it. But at the end of the day, I think, you know, what's trending right now is exactly what Kumail said. And if you're looking to get like a nice trendy home that's 2025, then these recommendations would be amazing. And I really like the ones you guys had done in our house, my parents' house as well, with those larger tiles now, right? Which I thought like were really cool, because at first I'm like, it's too big. It's like, who's gonna like those? But when you see that and you add it to the kitchen, it actually looks really beautiful, right?
To add to that, lesser grout, bigger tiles.
Yeah, that's true.
So lesser maintenance, right? House looks bigger. Lighter color makes the house looks bigger.
Exactly.
So those are the ideas. Sometimes it's all about educating, and right now,
it's all education.
Like you thought it might look, but you went with the advice and you liked the end product, right? So always listen to your contract, but also your gut feeling. If you have a certain taste, that's fine. I can blend with that. I will tell you what will go completely wrong. I would say, okay, this will work, but it's not too bad, kind of thing. So you have to kind of find a midway between the customer and what you're trying to do. But if he wants red walls, give him red walls.
For it. We'll give you red walls if you want red walls.
It's all about having an understanding and communicating what they want. That's why we offer design services as well, as I mentioned. So it helps customer decide on paper first rather than just going and executing and don't like the color theme.
Absolutely. No, there's so much to talk about. I mean, we'll probably have to do a part 2 sometime, but I think this was a great intro to contracting, because I've never had a contract on the show, but the first one. So thank you so much for your advice. If you have any questions, anything you need, you can DM Kumail and Alibaba Constructions directly. We'll have his information right here in the caption and also in the video description below. And if you enjoyed this episode, please like, share, and subscribe. We're trying to build our subscription base to at least 500 people by the end of the year. And if you have anything else that you need advice on the real estate market, reach out to me. And if you're looking for renovations or you're looking to sell your house and want to do some cosmetic upgrades, he's your guy. So give us a shout, and thank you for joining and thank you for listening.